Welcome to the Crooked Stripes Podcast, where your hosts discuss various aspects of lawn care, landscaping, and snow removal. Let these two friendly Canucks help you cultivate a different outlook on the green industry. And with that, here are your hosts, Brendan Brubaker and Martin Hodder.
All right, guys, we are back for another episode of the Crooked Stripes. Martin, man, how's the East Coast treating you?
Oh, not too bad. We're finally starting to get some of that snow melted and kind of looking forward to spring, but we still got a little ways to go. She's a little soggy, but we're getting there.
Nice.
Everything's not white and covered anymore, so we're making progress.
Yeah, you're not tunneling out of your front door anymore. That's good.
No, I'm done with that. Hopefully till next November or December.
Nice. Oh, that's good. Yeah, and we got a special guest on today, guys. We have Jason Kerr with us. Jason, how's it going today?
Oh, not so bad.
Awesome.
Almost spring. So it's a good day.
Yep, I know. We're almost spring. Yeah, we were working outside yesterday and sun was shining. That was beautiful. So, yeah, Christine runs your social media. She reached out to me and asked if you could come on the podcast. It's Kerr and Kerr's 30th year, so a bit of a milestone for you guys. So maybe just touch on, how the business has started. I know you mentioned your dad started it, and kind of let people know how it started over there at Kerr and Kerr.
Yeah, so, my uncle and my father started this 30 years ago. It was a conversation that was had in my grandparents' living room. They, where my uncle was working at the time, he was about to retire, and he offered my uncle his client list, basically. So then he approached my father, who was running heavy equipment at the time, running crushers, to see if he would be interested in coming in and doing it as a partnership. And they came to terms, and 30 years later, here we are, still going strong.
Nice little family start. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know if I could do the whole family thing, but
Some days are tough.
I'm sure there's some issues between it, but
Some days are tough, man. Tougher than others.
Yeah. It can be a tough one, but no, it can be rewarding too, right, Jason?
Yep. No, for sure.
So what type of services are you guys offering for your business there?
We do we have a landscape division, we have a maintenance division, we have a enhancement division, and then we do snow removal in the wintertime.
Nice. So it's a full service kind of
Full service.
all year round. Nice.
Yeah.
And what area are you guys located in?
We're located in Ayr, Ontario, and then we service from Ayr to Waterloo to Brantford, Paris, Guelph areas. We're pretty wide, actually. We're getting wider as the years go on, we find.
Awesome.
Nice.
Well, I guess you just keep going farther and farther out to find kind of more work. 'Cause I guess if you're growing and a decent sized business, you kind of need to expand. You can't just stay in one little small town forever.
Yeah.
No.
But but it sounds like you're staying away from Elmira, right? I like to hear that.
Yeah, we're not too interested in Elmira there, Brandon.
Okay, good. Let's just keep going down that road.
That's a far trip. Trip.
Okay, good. Perfect. Nice. Wow, that's you guys do a lot. Where do we want to start? Want to start with maintenance? Like how many employees would you have in your maintenance division? And kind of
we
trucks
have
going out.
We have roughly 14 trucks. We have a total of, in mid-peak summer, we're about 35 to 38 employees, give or take, deep, including office staff. On the maintenance, we have 3 crews of 2 people per crew, and then on the gardening crew, too, we have 2 women on there. So.
Okay.
Nice.
And then
so you're running 2 Sorry, was it your 3 crews of 2 for your mowing? Or that's for your maintenance, doing like your hedge trimming and that sort of stuff?
Well, no, that's full grass cutting maintenance, weekly maintenance. Two.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 people per crew. They get a pickup truck with an enclosed trailer with a walker and a Ferris in it, and with some still weed eaters, a blower, push mower, hand tools.
So they're set up for it all.
I
know Brandon's. Yeah, I know Brandon's a big walker guy. I seen his face kind of light up when you said that. So I'm sure he has some walker questions for you.
Always lighting up when there's some walkers involved, Martin. You know that, and you're the other way.
Yeah. Well, and Ferris too. I guess you're kind of big in
double.
both them now. So
yeah, nice. I love it.
Walkers are the bee's knees, man.
Oh, are they ever? So are you guys running all collecting walkers?
Yeah. We have three walkers that collect with a 48-inch deck on them. So each crew gets a walker.
Nice. Okay. Cool. And then what types of properties are you guys focusing on?
We're a good mixture. We have some condos. We're heavily into commercials, and then we have homeowners too. So we're kind of all over between all three areas.
Yeah.
Really.
What would be your preference? If you had to pick, do you like to kind of have the balance of all three of them, or would you kind of prefer to focus in one more than the other, or just kind of a good blend?
I like a good blend. I mean, the condo world seems to be finding us year over year. We're getting more into condos, less into actual homeowners. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And would that be, I know you kind of mentioned snow and stuff too. So would that be like a 12-month contract, like a full kind of year property maintenance, basically, like do kind of everything for them? Or is it just kind of your mowing and kind of some add-on services, or?
No, we try to be a one-stop shop, right? So we do everything from your grass to your beds to your snow. We try to in the perfect world, we sign you for a 3-year deal.
Okay.
And then we're it for 3 years. We tackle everything on site, outdoors, in terms of maintenance and snow.
Okay.
So 3 years, kind of your sweet spot. I guess that way it kind of makes it easier to kind of lock in what you have coming for the next couple of years, and
Yeah, it's easier to forecast out, right? Like if you know that you have, if you have certain sites for 3 years, it's easier when you have to replace equipment or anything like that, because X amount of dollars are coming in no matter what, right? Before renewal season.
And with that, are you doing a lot? Because I know when we do like our residential stuff, we have we kind of offer per cut kind of a monthly rate or like an upfront cost. Are you doing that over like equal payments, or does it all kind of vary as well?
The 3 years are over 12 months, equal payments. Okay. The ones that are only for maintenance, then it's an 8-month contract, equal payments. Everything's equal payments. And then obviously the upsells of like mulch and stuff like that, that's above and beyond. So.
Okay, yeah, that'll be add-ons afterwards and whatnot. Yeah. Awesome. That's kind of where we're going now. I'm trying to, like I said, we offer all like the 3 different plans for it, and it's all fun. Like it all kind of works out in the end. It's just, it adds a pile more book work or back end work for us, kind of sending out the office stuff. If like we use software to keep track of all our cuts and everything, but you still have to go through and bill it all out, and then it's a pain with snow. Snow is our big push that we're trying to make to seasonal now, but there's always people pushing back on it, even though it's a better deal in my opinion. But
we sell snow like insurance down here, because we could have years like this year down here where we only plow 5 times, or we could have years like last year where every week we were basically out pushing or applying salt. Or so we just sell it more like an insurance package, right? Like you have insurance for when you need it, but you don't really want to use it at the same time.
Yeah. Okay.
So for your snow, I know we asked about your like maintenance kind of properties. Your snow, is that mostly commercial as well, or are you doing some residential, or?
We're trying to get out of the residential world with snow a little bit. I mean, I think this past winter that we're just finishing, we had 25 to 30 homeowners.
Okay.
We had, but we're mostly commercial and condos for snow. That seems to
Okay.
be
So
our
would your
spot.
that's like your sweet spot for it. So would your commercial stuff be like kind of bigger industrial stuff? Or are you looking at like malls, hospitals, or just kind of like mom and pop businesses, parking lots, and that?
We try to stay out of malls, so it's
Okay.
more like factories. We've had our local hospital here, Cambridge Hospital. We've had it for 20 years this year, so
Nice.
we've had it for a while. It's our like home base really in a snowstorm. Like everyone seems to morb it over there, and then we dispatch from there. So, but yeah, commercials, factories, one hospital, a couple old age homes, condos.
Okay.
Okay.
That's where we try to
So
be.
so you have a pretty good blend of kind of everything in multiple and all the like facets of your business.
Yeah, we do. It's a lot some days.
Well, and I guess
Yeah.
it kind of makes you vary what type of equipment you have as well. Because I'm assuming like if you're doing big factories and stuff, you're using different stuff than you would be for your condo driveways and your residential and that as well.
Yeah, we have like in the wintertime we bring on 6 egg tractors with 1016 blades on them. We get them from Premier Rentals in Elmira over by you, Brandon. So we
Yeah.
get them there, and then we have a 910 loader, cat loader that we own, and then we have
Okay.
3 skid steers that go out, six plow trucks, 3 what else is there? 3 sidewalk crews, and then a sidewalk tractor that drives around downtown here in Cambridge.
Okay.
What are you using for your sidewalk tractor?
We rent it through Premier Rentals there. So
Okay.
it's just a John Deere, a little John Deere.
It must be like a smaller one, is it?
Yeah, it's small.
Okay.
I mean, you can put a deck on it and cut your lawn with it in the summertime. So it's
Okay.
rather small.
Are you running a blade on that or a blower?
Blade on the front,
Blade.
drop salter in the back. We don't get enough snow for blowers. So.
Oh, okay. You don't have our problem out there where you
Yeah.
get 5 feet of
Yeah.
snow at once and try to figure out and hope for the best.
Mhm.
And I assume your your bigger ag tractors are John Deere as well, are they?
Yeah, they're all John Deere except for one. We have one Massey this year because we needed a tractor in a hurry, and Premier didn't have any more. So we went through Dozer to get it.
Oh, okay. What size are the John Deere ones? They're probably a pretty decent size, I'd imagine, if you're running 10. You said
Yeah.
1016s on them?
Yeah, they're 1016 metal pluses. They're 6120s, I believe, is what they are.
Yeah, okay. So they're a big machine. Little bigger than my 6060.
A
yeah,
little bigger.
a
Yeah.
little bit. And we put weights on the back of them so that it kind of offsets the weight of the blade too, right? So you get a little more traction, a little more bite.
Oh, okay. So you don't run in like blowers or anything on the back of them?
No.
Oh yeah, like say, I guess if
Just
you're not
push.
getting enough snow, or kind of you're just straight pushing.
Yeah, straight pushing, and when we have to move, we load out with our loader. We don't blow any snow.
Oh, you'd hollow. When you said loader there, I was thinking your loader arms, but you're talking about your cat
Mhm.
9, and your 910 has a metal plus on it as well.
It has a HLA on it actually.
Oh, okay. Same size as the other ones.
Yeah, same size, just HLA and
Mhm.
about a couple $1,000s cheaper.
What would be your
Wow.
preference, HLA or the metal plus?
Definitely metal plus probably.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Does that
It's
get? I know I've
better.
talked to a few people about it. They have a better scrape, and then you're using less salt. I
Less
imagine,
salt.
is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Because I assume with
they're relatively new,
Oop,
so
right.
they have all live edges on them. So
so you're getting
Okay.
real
they
good scrape.
move better with the ground.
Mm-hmm. And what are you guys running for your like salters and sanders and stuff?
We've kind of branded. We were Snow X for the longest time with our 2-yard salters, but we're switching all over to Boss
Okay.
2-yard Boss salters.
Are you
So
running the Boss blades as well?
yeah, we have Boss blades on the front, and now we have Boss salters on the back. So
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
hmm
Do you use any liquid for like brine or anything?
yeah, we do. We have brine. All of our salters have a tank on the front, and so the guys, when they head out, they load the tank up on the front, and then it sprays the salt at the spinner right before it leaves to hit the ground.
Okay.
So
Like one of those pre-wetting systems.
yeah, it pre-wets the salt so that it activates quicker, right? Essentially.
Oh, okay.
And then we
Gotcha.
we have one liquid truck that has a tank on the back and a bar, and we're just starting to like kind of play around with the idea of liquids, because down here it's the way of the future. Like salt salt is soon going to be on its way out. So
Oh yeah. Yeah.
so we're playing around with liquids. Next year we're gonna play around even more. We're gonna go to Boss and get some VSI tanks.
Okay.
Okay.
So as your plant, like, are you just kind of pre-treating as you're doing that, or are you doing like just trying to actually melt it off like you would like a regular salt application?
A little bit of both. We've been playing around with this year. Like at the beginning of the year, when the storms weren't like, they're just little skiffs, we would send the truck out to spray just to see what it would actually do, and then we would send the salt truck behind it just to touch up any areas that it may miss. Because again, we're just playing around with liquids right now. We're not fully committed yet.
Yeah, it's definitely a big kind of commitment to make that move if you're gonna take the jump. Like I said, you're gonna have to eventually, but it's definitely a big
It's a big
move. And
jump.
like out here, yeah, and out here, no one does. I think there's one guy that has, I think, a sprayer on a truck that he does a little pre-treating with, but no one out here is using it. So it's kind of like, I like the idea of it, but we're not really into a bunch of commercial stuff. We're trying to go the opposite way and go more residential with our snow, and just kind of add a pile of driveways and get them nice and tight. And
Nice.
but
Yeah.
and no one wants to pay to have their driveway salted, because they can go buy a bag themselves and throw it
And
down
just do it themselves.
yeah. But that's the battle, I guess, when you go the residential route. So
Yeah,
Martin,
I mean,
it's all-
residentials for us were good at the beginning. It's what my uncle and my dad started with many years ago. I mean, when I was a kid, long before I was actually in the business myself, on weekends I would jump in the truck with Dad, and he would do the driveways. I would jump out, do the city sidewalk and the walkway, and we were the team back then. That's for sure.
yeah, the two-man show doing all the shoveling.
Yeah. There was no sidewalk crews, no Ventrax, no snow raiders, no nothing back then. It was just
you were the
plastic
sidewalk
bubble.
crew.
Yeah.
It's crazy how things change in 30 years.
Yeah, it's
30
crazy.
years too. Like that to me is like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
I feel like I've been doing it for a long time, and I'm like 12, 13 years in. Like 30, that's impressive.
Yeah. It's something, and we've like when you get dad sitting down talking about it, and he tells you some stories, and you're just like, wow, like.
I'm sure some of the ways they used to do some stuff too, I'm sure, because like even in the last few years, the way the technology has changed. Like, well, you look at like those mowers and stuff, right? Like some of that stuff definitely didn't exist 30 years ago.
No, for sure.
I like it.
Well, that's the thing. Like again, when they started the lawn maintenance part of it, they got their first walker on a handshake. So you wouldn't do that nowadays.
No.
Right?
So I like went into the dealership and just kind of quick handshake and load the mower up and away you go, is it?
Yeah, it would, they had the work, and then but they obviously they didn't have the coin at the time, so they went in, and they had known the dealer. My uncle had known the dealer before Kerr was even around through his old employer.
Okay.
So then he agreed to give us the walker, and then they said, well, if you give it to us, we'll put it to work, and we can pay you. If you don't, then I guess you don't. So they gave us the walker, and they put it to work, and we paid for it, and the rest is history now.
No kidding. That's
So
awesome.
those 30 years, you can give a lot of credit to that first dealer, I guess, taking a chance and
Making
it work for you guys.
Yeah, taking a chance on two country boys that wanted to make a go of it, really.
Mhm.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. You're
I mean,
definitely
it's
not
pretty-
getting that now.
No, I know that's tough. Hard
No,
to find
those
that.
days are long gone, for sure.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I know it'd be very hard to start, in 2024. It's definitely possible, but there's more,
Mhm.
there's some challenges. Well, you started
even
off
buying
with a
a
great
pickup
piece
truck
of
now.
machinery, and I know.
Right? Like
I know. I
our
was
first-
looking. I just
Yeah. Our first truck here ran
Yeah,
off propane.
did it?
Yeah. Yeah, we bought it up.
Like a pickup truck?
Yeah, it was a pickup truck that my dad and uncle bought off the city down here, the city of Cambridge, and it ran off propane. It had a straight 8-foot straight blade on it, and that's how it all started, really.
That was the winter. That's how the winter side started.
That's
It's crazy. It's crazy when you look back
Wow.
and like
Mm-hmm.
I know.
you see all these things, right? Like when I started, like me and Brandon talked about that before. Like he started with a little car. I did the same
Yeah.
thing with a little like a little Mazda Protege pulling around like a 4x6 trailer with him. It's crazy when you look back and just kind of see how.
Yeah.
And it's nice too. Like now, like when I started, I didn't have any social media. So I don't really have pictures and stuff from like
Yeah.
10, 15 years ago starting. It'd be nice now to be able to like look back and see that from 5 years ago or 7 or whatever, right? But
Well, we have full-on picture
Yeah.
books in our office. We have pictures, and you go through it picture by picture of the jobs and where, like, of some of the old trucks and the employees and everything from way back when. So,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah. Because when
that's
Dad
a
used to
pretty
come
neat
to
little
your-
keepsake.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because when because Dad sells, and he still sells, so when he came to your house to sell you a job, he would just bring this freaking photo book with him, and he'd lay it all out on your kitchen table, and he would show you, like, dig out, install of gravel, install of armor stone, patio, everything, and he just flipped through it. That's how you did it, because he didn't have phones, so. And social media wasn't.
That's
a thing.
so crazy.
Yeah.
That's so crazy to think how you'd have to sell. But I never really thought of that, how you'd have to sell a job back then versus
Mhm.
now. Like I could just text the customer a picture, be like, here's
Just
kind of what
want.
we're thinking if you're into, or do a design on a computer, whatever,
Yeah.
right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I guess back then you had to do stuff differently.
Yep. No.
So
Yeah.
And
Came a long way.
you kind of touched on like you kind of touched on your hardscaping side there. So
Mhm.
what are you running for your hardscape crews?
And like, so in terms of pick of trucks, they get they have a 2500 1-ton dually with a
Okay.
Electra box on it, and then they get a 18 by 7.5 foot enclosed trailer with shelves in it that they can put all their stuff in, their tools. And then on the equipment side, we're big on cat, so we have cat excavators and skid steers that they use to do the job.
And do you just have the one hardscape crew, or do you have a couple?
No, we have 3. We have 3 hardscape crews, and then to
Okay.
feed the crews, we have a roll-off truck with a couple bins, and then it feeds with a full-time driver, and it feeds the 3 crews with whatever they may need
Okay.
in the day.
So you're doing all your own like material delivery. You're doing that. You're kind of hauling in, hauling out, everything yourself.
Yeah, basically. I mean, if it's a big
Nice.
big load of any type of material, then we get the local garden center to bring it in, or stone yard, or depending what it is. So,
Mhm. So how do you like the roll off? Or I assume is your roll off on like a tandem or a single axle? Like what size truck is that on?
it's a single axle now. We had last summer we had a tandem axle roll off and a single axle roll off, and then this year now
Mhm.
we've sold the tandem, and we're strictly
Okay.
onto a single axle. It's a 2023 Freightliner on with an on trucks system on it.
That- And you must have a couple different size bins and that sort of stuff for it as well, do you?
Uh, no, it's a standard bin. It has
Okay.
it's 2.5 feet tall, and I believe it's 14 feet long. With
Mhm.
with a ramp on it, so you can, when it's on the ground, it's easy load. You can just drive the machines
Okay,
right.
that was my my next question. If you would be able to kind of like on because we don't have, I don't think there's anyone out here that has one. But
Mhm.
that's what I was going to ask you. Are you able to like put the bin on the driveway and then drive your skid steer right in and dump or whatever, or are you able to load that way when you're hauling up material?
Yeah. Typically, all of it, like we try our best not to put it in the driveway, especially if they're asphalt and whatnot. So down
Oh,
here
okay.
we can park on the road. So we just put it on the road, pile on it, and then it's on the ground. So the skid steers, it's easy load for them, and then the driver comes, picks it up, drops, and then if we need another empty bin, he drops the empty one, picks up the full one, and he's gone again. So.
Oh, so he's just cycling through for you if you're hauling up material all day long.
Yeah, and if it's a big dig out, we have triaxles too, so we bring them in on the big
Oh,
one.
so you have some bigger trucks as well.
Yeah. So we have
Nice.
dad that's his own side gig really is he has a 2010 Peterbilt that is like his little baby. He really enjoys driving it, so he brings it out and
Nice.
for those special dig outs.
Nice.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys must have a shop then if you have all this stuff. You must have like a decent sized property or something that you're running this out of.
Yeah, my dad 7 years ago we bought a 4.5 acre plot of land in Air, which is how we ended up here.
Okay.
And then
Gotcha.
the shop's a fair size. It has our office upstairs, and then our shop is downstairs, and it holds our lawn equipment, snow, like our sidewalk machines sit in it. We can bring our like the Freightliner truck can come in, the dump truck can come in, get serviced up. So it's a fair size. And then the
And
yard.
do you guys do a lot of this? Do you guys do a lot of the service there yourself?
Yeah, we're getting better with it. We've brought in two part-time mechanics. One seems is going to be related to us here
Okay.
shortly, but they come in at twice a week. They do they do routine checks on brakes, tires, front ends, stuff like that, just to make sure that no tires fall off when we're driving down the highway or something.
That's always a good thing to have, so you're not seeing your wheel bounce in front of you. So
Yeah.
and you started to mention there you had a yard as well. So do you have like a material yard that you sell to, like people can show up and buy stuff, or is it more so for you guys to have?
A little bit of both. Again, Dad's been kind of, because when we came to Air, Dad soon figured out that there was no garden center area around us. So I wouldn't say it's a full-on garden center, but I mean you can come here and you can buy mulches, gravels, stuff like that. No plant material, just strictly soil.
Kind of
Bulk, yeah. And then you can call in
Yeah,
too,
okay.
and we'll deliver it to you after hours when the trucks start rolling in. We'll start sending them
Nice.
out.
So it's another little side stream off your main business there. So
Yeah,
that's awesome.
so
Good stuff.
Would you want to
something like
grow
my
that?
father yeah, it's something my
Yeah.
father kind of just
Okay.
took and went on with. So, and then I don't think we're going to grow it at all. I think it's just going to be
Right.
this year, and because it's like a little side hustle for him, really.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, it's probably pretty convenient for you guys as well to have like your own material always on site if you need a couple of yards in the morning, throw it in the truck, roll out, and you're not going to a supply yard to buy anything.
No, yeah, exactly. And then we have soils here from like unscreened soil from jobs and stuff like that. And even from the yard itself, because when we got here, we had to make the yard because it was a horse paddock when we got here. So we brought a dozer in and stripped it all off. So we in the summertime we bring a screener in and we screen so many yards, and then we use it, we sell it. When we need more, we screen it again, and so on until the end of summer.
Awesome. So you're able to kind of bring in the stuff you're hauling back to the yard, dump it, rescreen it, and then use it again. So you're recycling all that soil.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, basically.
Save on disposal fees.
Yeah, and then we dump our grass here all summer and leaves, and then we keep them for we turn it over every so many months, and then it turns into compost, and then we throw that into the pile too to make everything a little nicer.
Wow.
Sweet. Got it all figured out.
Yeah. Full reduce, reuse, recycle. Love it.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to go back to your hardscape and stuff, because I've seen on your Instagram stuff, you guys do seem to do some pretty awesome projects. Mm-hmm. So I assume you do, based on everything else, you kind of where you do a little bit of everything. I assume that's the same thing. You kind of do walls, patios, planting, construction. Do you want to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, we do a fair amount of construction, right? Like, so we do walls, patios. We've gone all the way to Toronto a couple times to do full on landscape jobs from like digging the foundation right to putting the sod in too. So
okay. So you guys do a little bit of softscaping as well with the planting.
Yeah. Yeah, we try to keep most of the walls if we can for our winter work. I mean, if it doesn't fall that way, it doesn't fall that way. But we try to have it so that we have two to three walls to do over the course of the winter, just to keep the guys going when it's not snowing.
Okay, that's nice to do. We definitely don't have that. We'd have to snow blow the backyard just to be able to even attempt it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I mean, the last 2 years we've been lucky, but
yeah.
And then I guess if it doesn't happen, you just kind of push it till first thing in the spring and kind of roll with it that way.
If it doesn't work over the winter, then it's one of the first jobs that we do when we're out of the gate in late March.
So, are you mostly like residential, or are you doing some commercial, like hardscaping, landscaping as well, or is it kind of a blend?
It's a blend. Right now, we're seeing a lot of commercial work come in because we're predicting that the market's going to slow down here quite heavily for the residentials. So a lot of commercial work's coming in, and we're pricing it accordingly. So we're about 6 to 8 weeks out right now, give or take.
Nice.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good timeline.
Yeah.
Especially so early in the year. But I guess you guys probably booked some work from last year into this year, and we've kind of roll forward.
We've had some layover from last fall to now. So I mean, normally we're months booked. So
right,
like months.
So you're starting to kind of notice what everyone's saying about the economy, kind of stuff, kind of starting to
slow
down a little bit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
No, we've definitely noticed it, and we've been in contact with our social media company that runs our website too to try to or get something going for us a little easier.
Okay. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit too, because I know Brandon mentioned, because you've been talking to Christine, is it?
Yeah. Christine. Yeah, maybe touch on, Jason, what kind of Christine all is doing for you guys.
Okay. So Christine came to us as a subcontractor about a year ago. And so she runs our socials, Facebook and Instagram. Um, she goes out and takes the pictures and makes the content and all that you see on our pages. She does all, like, she's the one who obviously got us in contact with you guys to set up today and whatnot. And then for our website, we have a separate company called Intrigue Media that we've been with for 6-7 years, I believe now, and they do just strictly our website. So
Okay.
and then Christine
So,
now.
so you sub all that stuff out.
Mhm. So
Oh, I was just gonna ask. So with her, so she's full time now, is she? Like full
yeah,
time content kind of
she's
creator?
full time, and as of next week, she's no longer a subcontractor. She's gonna come in house as an employee, so she'll just go on the payroll now instead of sub. So she's
Nice.
gonna come in and kind of be in the office a couple days a week, and just any layover or anything of a good amount of work she'll take care of on top of
Nice.
her social media.
Right. Have you noticed you've got a few jobs through the social media?
As of late, it's starting to make a turn. Actually, we're starting now that
Okay.
she's running. Now that she's running the social media and has like owned it herself, we are seeing that we're starting to get a little bit more leads out of social media. Mostly Instagram, like Facebook's there, but Instagram's where she's really focused on right now. So, but yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I've noticed she's very, because we follow you guys, of course, and she's very consistent with her posting. And, you know, as soon as I post something, she's always liking it. And so I think that all
we
comes
actually
together.
got Instagram by accident years ago, and then
Right.
we didn't truly know. Dad didn't know that Kerr had Instagram up until I think two years ago. So, because what happened is we had an employee at the time. He was really liking the product that he was producing on the hardscape side. So he made an Instagram page for Kerr. And so he kind of ran it for a little bit, and then he brought myself in. So then we kind of amateurly ran it. And then, as you can tell, because if you go right to the bottom of our page, there's pictures of anything that we thought the people wanted to see at the time. So
Nice.
and you can tell when Christine came onto the scene and fixed it. So
Nice.
Mhm.
That's
She
funny.
has it looking good now. The page, she's always posting nice stuff on there. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that idea because
I know,
me and Brandon have been talking about that, about trying to
Yeah.
get somebody kind of involved as a social media person. Because I try to do it, but I'm somehow wearing 30. It seems like I'm wearing 30 different hats every day, trying to run everything and do everything. And it's nice to hear that you're getting some results from it and kind of seeing the benefits of it and kind of getting some
even
ROI. So
the connections alone within our industry has really changed too. Like for an example, you guys, we would have never known about you guys if it wasn't for Instagram, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Christine messaged us and said, "Oh, hey, like it's our 30th year, would love to get Jason on." And then she said, "All the crew leaders are ripping the podcast in the truck." And I thought that was so cool.
yeah, awesome
You
to
know?
hear.
The boys are
And like I
listening.
said, appreciate people kind of tuning in and listening to it and
It was just
listening
nice
to a couple crazy Canucks talk about
who knows
random stuff.
About grass. Grass and
about
snow.
grass and
and dirt and snow.
Grass, dirt, snow. But
that's good.
Yeah.
Nice. I want to go back to the lawnmowers. How do you like the Ferris mowers? Because I went to the facility, a month and a half ago, and I seen how they got made, and it honestly blew me away how they did it all in house at the factory in New York. And it seems like Ferris is at the top of the I don't know, the mower game after seeing that too. So
Well,
what's your
Ferrises
experience
are
with the Ferris?
Ferrises
Yeah.
are definitely the Cadillacs, right? Like if you have a
Okay.
Ferris, then you're doing pretty good. So we have two of them now,
Yeah.
and we just ordered another one that should be coming within a couple weeks here for this upcoming growing season. So we'll have three, and I mean they're great. We have a 60-inch, and then we have a 52-inch, and then the new one's going to be another 52-inch for just getting into those tight areas. But can't say, and they're stand-on, so they're not so
Okay.
bad, right? And then they have the suspension for where you
Yeah.
stand, which is great because then when you go to get off of it, you don't fall over from your legs hurting or
Yeah. Your knees buckling.
right. Yeah, so they're
Yeah.
great. I mean, we're going into our third year with the Ferrises. We had John Deere's before,
Yeah.
and Ferrises to us are just the way to go now.
Okay. So that they're all stand-ons?
Yeah, yeah, they're all stand on.
Okay. Nice.
So,
Is
the
it
guys
the
like them.
ZX3?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's ZX3s.
Okay. Nice.
And the guys like
Okay.
them. Like they like them because you can when you're standing on them, you can if you're going far away from the trailer, you can just hang on to put your weed eater right in front of you and just hang on to it as you're driving, and then
Oh yeah.
use it as your little taxi, really, when it's trimming time.
Right. Yeah, I know. And then you can throw a blower on your back, and like that would be so handy for your condos and big commercial spots, right?
Yeah, less walking, right? That seems to be the way of the
Less
future.
walking. Yeah, less walking.
I am okay with that.
Yeah.
Oh, so am I. So am I. Trust me.
Yeah. Oh, nice. That's good. Unreal. Yeah, I have a Cub Cadet stand on, and it's got the suspension on the platform, but other than the suspension, or it's not even, I don't even know what it is. Other than that, there's no other, spring suspension on the chassis. So it can be a little bit of a rough ride. So I haven't tried the Ferris out yet, but it looks like a beauty ride.
Well, it took us over a year and a half to make a decision because we had our John Deere zero turn from like the beginning of time. I felt like it was getting tired. So we over the course of that summer we tried everything, like Cub Cadet, everything. If we could get our hands on it, we tried it, and then at the end we asked the crew leads what they wanted, and they wanted Ferris's, so that's what we got.
Nice. Yeah, and then I did notice the deck on it. It's kind of like an articulating deck like the walkers, so maybe that's why the crew leaders, I don't know, like them over everything else. A little bit of a similar mow, right? Contouring on the hills.
Well, and then they hold like our 60-inch. I've had that one in some pretty high inclines, and it just walks right through it. Like I've had crew leads watch me on hills, and I come down from cutting the grass, and they're like, "Yeah, we were just waiting for you to tumble down to the bottom." And I'm like, "Oh, handle no problem. What are you talking about? You just gotta."
Yeah.
It's just not a fast process. That's all. But it does. They hug the hills like no tomorrow. So
okay,
good.
Nice. Well, that's good to hear. Because I'm getting a ZX3 this spring, so I'm stoked to try it out.
Right on.
Cool, man.
So,
what would you guys do for a work week? Are you usually Monday to Friday, or do you guys do some weekends? How do you do that?
We're Monday to Fridays. Crew leads start at 6:30 in the morning. Rest of the employees come in for 7 after the crew leads already got the trailer ready to go, so they just pull up, jump in the truck, and away they go. 5 days a week.
Nice.
And then we like to see the guys back by 5:30. And then on Fridays, maybe 2:30, 3 o'clock, because Fridays we wash everything.
Yeah.
From the week, right? So that's
sharpen some blades, grease them up.
Yeah, nice. Well, we sharpen blades on Saturdays. We have my senior crew lead. He comes in and he services them if they need done, or he takes all the blades off. If they need sharpened, he sharpens them all, puts them all back on, so that the other two are they just have to load and go on Monday. So he looks at a 6-day week.
With that many kind of vehicles and mowers and all that stuff, do you have like fuel on site, or are you going to like a local?
No, we have
like
fuel. We
gas
have fuel tanks at the back of our shop. You
Okay.
You can pull up. We got diesel, dyed diesel, mixed fuel, and then just normal gasoline too.
So that must save you guys a pile of time, I guess, if you instead of having whatever 14 trucks, I think you said.
Yeah.
That take a while to be running through a fuel station, so you must see some pretty good savings there, time wise at least.
I mean, the fuel truck's here every other day, I feel like, but it
Doesn't seem like
it saves us time, so that's all that matters, right? So
yeah, and that's a lot of labor savings too, of just waiting at the gas station. So
yeah,
that's
I mean,
my biggest pet peeve.
I know.
I
knew that was a pet peeve of yours.
Yeah. In a perfect world, they come in at night, they pull up because you can drive right around our shop. So they pull in, they unload their trailer, fuel it. If it's not Friday, they put everything back on the trailer, and then they back it in, unhook, and then they just dump, because we can dump grass here too. So.
Right.
And then some of them leave them unhooked overnight, and some hook back up, so it's one less step for the morning.
That's awesome. It seems like you got it down to a pretty good system, pretty dialed in there. So
yeah,
well,
I guess 30 years will do that of learning and figuring it out.
What doesn't work, what does.
30 years, Dad's seen it all, so he's dialed it in for sure.
No kidding.
And with a company that size, so you guys must be using some sort of software, are you?
Yeah, we use LMN Time.
Oh, okay.
No. Okay.
How do you like LMN?
It's good. It's good. We've had it ever since it basically came out. When Mark introduced it to the world, really. So we've had it right from when it was only an estimating software to right now, like to present day, when it's time clocking and everything for the guys. We use it for estimate, time, payroll, everything.
That's awesome. So it's a one stop for you.
You know.
Yeah. And do you have guys, like, obviously your guys clock in every day through that as well?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That's all on
is that a spot at the... Oh, okay. I was going to say, if it was like an office thing, like you have to sign in, but you can do it all through an app, is it?
Yeah, everyone has, all crew leads have it on their app, or on their phone, sorry. And then, because as they go through their day, they have to clock out in and out of sites too, right? So they have it on their phone. Crew lead, if you have it on your phone, we give you like a phone allowance.
Okay.
For the extra data. If you've been here for more than, I believe, 2 to 3 years, we give you a company phone. So then you have a company phone. So
awesome. Just one other little perk that comes along with it.
Yeah.
Now, with your employees, are you getting a lot of like turnover? Because I know the labor market's pretty tough. Or do you have a lot of like kind of returning employees, like your crew leads and stuff? Have they been around for a couple of years, or are you constantly kind of looking for new people?
I mean, we're constantly hiring, if that's because we're always looking to grow and whatnot. But we've had like my maintenance crew leads, they've been here for 3+ years.
Okay.
Landscape guys, we actually just had 2 of them retire last summer. They had been here for 12 years. Our current landscape guys over there, there's no one there that's newer than 3 years. So you're able to keep. So it must be a good spot to work if you're able to keep employees and keep them around for you gotta
good company culture.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you play the field too, right? Like there's always going to be the duds that come in, but they work themselves out as quick as they work themselves in. So
yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. Just a hard cleanup, and they'll probably be not coming in the next day.
Yeah. So.
Nah, too many leaves for them.
Yeah,
And
no
we've
kidding.
noticed too, like because we have hired some new people for the upcoming season, and we've noticed like on the maintenance side, there's a lot more women that want to come
Yeah,
in. So that's good to see. I'm happy to see
I've
that.
noticed that around town, like in Waterloo. And if we get into Kitchener, I've noticed a lot of maintenance crews have women, which is awesome.
Well, it's good because I mean, at the end of the day, they're more picky than men are. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I
Definitely.
know. Like when I first started, me and my wife would go out and she would go through the flower beds, and they've never looked better that year.
yeah.
They still haven't.
You're gonna have to get her back.
I know.
Get her back in
But
a Brubaker shirt.
Yeah, now we're talking. Yeah, I know. Sometimes it's hard to get the younger guys to go through the beds and have that
Well,
eye for detail.
Yeah, they all want to use the walker and the Ferris to make the stripes look good, but
Totally.
the stripes look good, but then you go over to the flower beds and sometimes,
I know.
they don't look the way they should, especially when you're
I
filling
know.
a certain product, right? So
Yeah. Yeah, and you guys are such a full service. Like you offer such a good full service. Everything's got to be on point, right?
yeah, we try. I try a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. I know all those little details just add up to being the final picture. Like your trimming, edging, flower beds, pruning, just such a big part of it. The overall look, so nice.
Kind of talking about all the different services. What would be your favorite kind of part? What section do you work in, or do you have like a preference, or do you do a little bit of everything?
Well, now I'm the account manager here for maintenance. So
Okay.
I'm head of maintenance. So I sell it, schedule it, get it on, get it out there so the guys will do it. Before this, guys, I came up mostly on the hardscape side. I was the 10-year-old kid out picking rocks and with a wheelbarrow all day. I only showed up when none of the actual employees wanted to do the work. Sometimes that's when I would get in the summertime. I would get the call down to my room from Dad saying I'm going to work, and then I'd be so excited. I would get to the site and I'd be handed a wheelbarrow and get told to pick rocks all day. So the excitement soon died on those days. That's for sure.
That is a good intro into the landscaping life.
Yeah,
fill this wheelbarrow with as many rocks as you can for the next 10 hours.
Yeah, well, I did that for 2 summers actually, and then out of high school, I came and worked for Dad on a full-on landscape crew, and then I was our main operator for 2 summers. And then I left. I actually left Dad for summer in 2018, I believe it was, and I worked in Toronto doing civil work. And then it just wasn't the same, so I did that for the summer, and then I came back to Dad that fall. I sat down beside him watching TV one night, and I'm like, can I come back? So he said yes, and then I went back to being an operator, and then I went from there to manager of enhancements, and now I did that for a couple years, and now I'm head of maintenance, and that's where I sit.
That's awesome. So you kind of went through pretty much every little phase of it, and kind of worked your way into where you are now. I like that. So Dad was happy to see me leave and kind of spread my wings a little bit, as he would say, and the grass isn't always greener, so I came back with my tail between my legs, and
then you flew back.
Oh, well, it's a good thing he said yes and took you back.
Right. I don't know where I'd be. I'd be on the picket line by now, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, that's good.
Nice. That's funny. Jason, what would be some future plans? I know it's been 30 years, but maybe future plans for the next 5 years, or a certain goal you have in mind?
Our goal as a company is to get up to 5 maintenance crews and then 5 construction crews within the next 5 years.
Nice.
So that's the main one, and then just we're always tweaking with the background stuff, right? Like whether it be anything, we're always tweaking it with procedures or onboarding ways or whatnot. So
just fine tuning the back end stuff that no one sees, but makes the ship run that much smoother.
Right? Yeah.
So,
yeah.
That was another piece of bringing, not to talk about Christine again. That was another one. The reason why she's coming on board is because we've seen a section there of our office staff that we were missing, right? Like potential work or whatnot. So we brought her in-house to take care of that kind of stuff.
Awesome. She seems like she plays a pretty big part for someone kind of new into it. So
yeah, I mean, she makes us look good for sure, right? To the public.
Nice.
And that's all. At the end of the day, it's all how the public sees you, so that's all that matters, really.
I know.
Because without
that's
the public,
90% of the battle.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
I know. Crazy world we live in. Jason, what's one piece of advice you'd give someone that's maybe starting out, or that's maybe been doing it for 20, 25 years, and what's one piece of advice you have for them?
I'd just say stay true to what you know. Like, don't try to divvy out of what got you this far, really. Just because, if you're good at grass, stick to grass, and don't get off the beaded line too far, right? So, and just know your worth, and that would be it for me, really.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. No, that's good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Definitely don't want to stretch yourself too far, especially starting out. You can definitely get yourself in a hole.
I know.
Real quick.
We did that a couple years ago. We were tinkering into a little bit of everything. Like we would dig foundations. We would Dad wanted to spray, so we bought a spray company, and then we did that until all the new laws came in, and then we sold it. And then we bought a couple dump trucks, and we played around with that idea for a couple years. We had up to 3 trucks at one point, and then now we just have Dad's. So just stick to what you know, really.
Yeah, nice. No, that's a good piece of advice. We have a new little section of the pod.
Oh.
It's going to be called Overrated or Underrated, and we're going to start it off right now. And we're all going to answer. All right.
And this is new to me, too, because I didn't know we were doing this.
Tell Martin.
He's probably been over there looking it up as we've been talking.
Yeah, I know, right? Exactly. Okay. So the first one, overrated or underrated, we're going to go Walker Mowers. And Jason, you can go first.
Oh, thanks. I wouldn't say they're overrated. I mean, they're still the best product machine out there. I mean, they're getting up there in price as well because they know that they're the best machine. But I'd say that they're not overrated yet.
Nice. Okay. All right, Martin.
We'll have to add in a middle one. Overrated, underrated, or properly rated?
Yeah, or it's all,
Or correctly rated, yeah.
Correctly rated.
Just for some stuff, because some stuff just kind of, like you said.
That's true.
It's not necessarily an overrated or underrated, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Martin? I guess you haven't been on one too much,
I only driven one
at the show.
I would say they're overrated because I hate the steering system on it.
Yeah, but that's fair.
That's me. I've never really used one. I've never cut a lawn with them, so I'm kind of biased, I guess, in a bad way. But
nice.
That's my opinion on it.
Yeah, that's fair. I see so many comments on TikTok because I post a lot of my Walker mower videos on there, and the crazies come out of the woodwork on the walker sometimes. Like, oh, I'm not paying that much for a mower. Like, overrated. And I'm going, no, man, these things are underrated. So I'm so efficient on one of those machines. I can mow a lawn so quick. Obviously not a big field, but if we're going to a small to medium sized residential or commercial, I can just, I don't know. I just love them, but I grew up on a walker too, so
Yeah, and so did
that's
I. I was
just
gonna
my
say I've
opinion.
never had any other option. It's always been Walker here. We've never
Yeah,
had
well,
any
exactly.
so
Okay, nice. All right, next one. This is for you too, because I'm not a snow guy, but overrated or underrated on the metal Pless blades? What do we think?
I
Underrated.
haven't used one. I'd say they're underrated just by how everyone I've talked to, how well they scrape and how much time and money you save on the salting side of it.
Yep.
I'd say they are worth their weight in gold.
I
Okay.
would agree.
And if I buy a bigger machine, that is what's going on the front of it.
Bingo. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. I had known nothing about them, but just from us talking to, Tyler 519 mentioned he's such a metal plus guy, and you and talked to some other guys. So just from that, I already think they're underrated. So, okay, good to know. Okay, we got two more. I added a late one.
Oh boy.
So overrated or underrated lawn maintenance? Just lawn maintenance in general.
Like as an add-on to your company, or as like a
As in like
a division
for
of
a
it?
business owner, is because some guys, again, I'm seeing these comments. Some guys shit on lawn maintenance and go, "Oh,
sure.
it's all about landscaping," right? So that's where I'm coming from with that one.
I'd say it's underrated. I mean, you gotta have grass. That's your.
Yep.
It's.
I agree.
It's
I'd say
what pays the payroll
I'd say
when
it's
you
super
take
underrated.
Thank you.
Boom.
Boom.
It covers your cost. Like my mowing covers a good chunk of our expenses, our costs, all that stuff. It's week in, week out. I think it's pretty recession proof.
Oh,
like
for sure.
People are still going to need grass cut. Buildings, commercial stuff. The grass still has to be cut every week. Like you can't get. Whereas, like you said, you notice the decline in landscape residential projects. If you don't have something to fall back on,
you're
up Schitt's Creek. Yeah. So I agree with you. I say that's big time underrated.
And it's your way in the door too for snow. I know, Brandon, you don't do snow, but you get them on the 12-month contract, multi-year contracts, and you're going, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I totally.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that. Yeah, that's the only thing that keeps me coming back to, I got to do snow, is the 12-month, you're on the property all year round. I totally see the benefit in that.
Well, you become
I agree as well. Super underrated. Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So, nice. Love to hear that, boys. Okay, we got the final one. This one's for Martin and for my fellas that work. Overrated or underrated White Monster Energy?
Let's go.
That's a good one, right?
Greatest drink in the league.
I don't drink.
Underrated.
Okay. Are you a coffee guy, Jason?
Love coffee. Double Tim Hortons all day long.
Oh, like the double. That's a treat, let me tell you.
Isn't it?
Nice. Yeah. Martin's a straight White Monster kind of guy.
Well,
White Monster and water.
Our general manager, he comes into his office every day with 2 Monsters, and he goes down to the vending machine by lunch to get a couple more. So he drinks them just like water.
Oh, nice there. I knew we'd find them.
I only have one, but I have one a day. But there's definitely been times where I've packed a few back, but I try to drink some water instead and see if I can keep myself a little healthier for the upcoming year, I guess. So I don't drop dead at 35.
Yeah, we can't be having that.
That's a good section, Brandon. I'm glad you added that.
Great. Just thought about that as we were talking.
Took me by surprise as well. So that'll be a new thing to put into our episodes.
Starting this week, we're going to do it every week. So Awesome. Cool, Jason. Well,
forward to
where
seeing
can
them.
everyone find? Sorry?
I said I look forward to watching them onward.
Nice. Yep. Then you got to stick around till the end, right?
I got
Yeah.
a great idea, Brandon.
Okay.
Let's get people to send in messages with stuff that we should talk about, like underrated, overrated, and then we can kind of
Done.
deal
That's
with
a great idea.
Yeah,
I'll
so if
put it-
anybody has any questions or whatever, throw it that way, and
Nice.
we'll do underrated, overrated,
Okay.
and we'll figure out a word for the middle rated.
Nice. I like that. Okay. And people can maybe message us on the Instagram Crooked Stripes. It's
Yeah.
at the Crooked Stripes. Maybe let's do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. I like it. Okay, cool, Jason. Well, where can everyone find you on social media?
Facebook and Instagram. That's
Nice.
where you'll find us, and then our website. That's it. So,
Yeah, nice.
Three
Cool. I will
pages.
post. Okay. I'll post the Instagram and the Facebook in the show notes so people can check you guys out. Awesome.
well, thanks to Christine.
guys.
It looks like something now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah, it looks good now.
And now,
That's
now
awesome.
everyone knows who runs it, so she'll have to keep her. We'll keep her
Yeah.
on her
Yeah.
toes, making sure she
Keep
keeps
her on her toes
posting and
a
keeping
little
up the
bit.
good work. So
There
Yeah.
we go.
It's definitely
I'm
not
sure
me.
she'll listen to this.
It's
Yeah.
not me.
Yeah. Nice.
I've hung that up. I've taken that hat off.
Nice. That's a good idea. I think Martin might be doing the same thing soon. So
soon, we'll see. Maybe
Well,
give it
hang
a
on.
few tries. I like your idea of where you kind of used her as a subcontractor. I might try that first and try to hire it out, just kind of see how it goes, and then
Yeah.
and if it works, then maybe we'll move forward with it. But
yeah.
we'll see.
Well, again, she came to us with our project manager because she's his girlfriend. So I mean, they came as a package deal, basically.
Oh,
He was here first.
better.
I hired him, and then after he got here for a couple months or maybe a year, he started dating Christine, and then we started seeing the videos that she was producing, and then we asked her to join. So that's how that's all started.
Nice.
does that guy plow for you?
Yeah, he's
Or what? There you go.
yeah.
You can get some good plow content now. She'll have to go be a passenger.
Yeah, well, that's how it started, right? Because him and I had the credentials to get into Instagram, and then she was out with him because he's a snow supervisor. So we were doing a big haul night one night, and then she just started taking videos throughout the night, and then the next day, she asked for the credentials to get onto the page, and she edited a nice video of it, and we liked what we seen, so then we hired
The
her
rest
on.
is history.
The rest is history, guys. So
Awesome.
How's that? That's awesome.
mhm.
Sweet, Jason. Well, thanks so much for coming on and chatting with the fellas. Yeah. Yeah, we'll totally do it again. I love it.
Mhm.
Awesome, everyone. Well, thanks so much for listening. If you guys could rate and subscribe to the podcast, Martin and I would really appreciate it. And we'll see you next Tuesday.
We want to thank you for listening to the Crooked Stripes podcast. If you like this episode of the pod, subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It's very much appreciated. Head over to Instagram and follow at the Crooked Stripes. From there, stay up to date on all things lawn, landscaping, and snow removal. Don't forget to join us next week for another episode of the Crooked Stripes. Thanks again for listening.